And we're live.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, everyone. It is the notorious, glorious V, the Gorilla Economist, coming to you live on this edition of Rogue News. It's Wednesday, and since it's Wednesday, you know that the silver-tongued Grecian himself is here, the one and only Gus Demas, the most prolific social commentator of our time. He is the man of the hour, and you can find him over at perpetualassets.com. Perpetualassets.com. Is Pantifa burning down your city? Is your city been shut down because some Democrat mayor is out of control and you are worried that you're about to lose your livelihood? Then you need to contact Will Lear and Gus Demas over at perpetualassets.com. Let these guys save your 401k from being a 101k. Let these guys get it done for you. And with that being said, Gustavo, CJ, what's up, guys?
Good morning, bro.
Good morning.
Wonderful day. You sent me a video this morning on the group chat between me and CJ, bro, and you.
Did you see
when LARPing goes wrong? Can we play that when LARPing goes wrong, CJ?
There's about 10 videos that show. It's why I named my avatar. It's not make believe. Like I'll offer commentary in the back end, but there's about 4 videos that one of the guys was shot in the heart, one of the guys was shot in the head.
Holy shit! Really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And the common theme here is the dude with these people, and I've realized these people, all of them, right? So take the guys who fight with cops who start all this shit. Take these Antifa idiots who get shot by just armed citizens trying to protect themselves and their homes and their businesses. They think it's a game. Like they don't. I think that's the common theme here is that these people, put it this way, if I'm surrounded by armed police, the last thing I'm doing is acting like a fucking moron because I realize that all it takes is one wrong move, one cop having a bad day or something to pull out his fucking Glock and put a bullet in my fucking head.
Several bullets.
It's the same way these people do it with the cops. They start fighting back, resisting. They do it with armed citizens. They do it like these crazy feminist Antifa bitches, BLM bitches. Like they don't realize a motherfucker might just straight up shoot you in the face. Like I don't know what maybe that comes with just a sense of entitlement, or they haven't accepted their mortality yet, or they're living in some bubble. I don't think they realize how serious this all is. Like, because these kids, what I'm struck by is, dude, listen, I'm as ballsy as the next guy, but I wouldn't charge a motherfucker with a rifle.
I was brewing some delicious coffee downstairs, and I was having this talk with Mrs. Gorilla, and we were both laughing. We're like, why the hell would these idiots charge a guy with a gun? Like, dude, let me ask you a question, Gus and CJ. If you saw a guy running with an AR, would you go ahead? Hey, that's a great idea. Let me go chase this guy. You wouldn't do that.
If you're unarmed, God no. You run. You look for camouflage. You look for cover. And most places, most things don't offer cover like you think they might offer cover. Even if you're, and I was just telling CJ, I'm actually leaving on Sunday night.
Where you going?
I'm going to Arizona, one of the best tactical handgun pistol schools in America. It's called Gun Sight, and I'm going to be.
I heard of Gun Sight.
I'm going to be there for a 5-day tactical class. I've been shooting for 25 years, but this is like clearing rooms, going in with teams, tactical fucking pistol training. Wow. So it's a lot of
John Wick level stuff, huh?
Yeah, exactly. So the point being, even if I had a handgun and there's an active shooter with a fucking rifle, like I don't think most people comprehend their disadvantage. Most people, especially when the target's moving and you're moving, you go north of 25 yards, it's hard to stick on target with a pistol. Very hard, even with a red dot pistol. But with a rifle, you give me a fucking rifle with a dot and a magnifier or a scope, I could fucking stick people at 50 or 100 yards. Moving, I mean, it's not only do you have more rounds, but you have more accuracy, more control on recoil. So you are, even handgun on rifle, you are at a heavy disadvantage. And per CJ's point, These guys are going skateboard on rifle. So I don't know. I don't know what the fuck they're thinking. It's fucking nuts. It's fucking nuts.
Well, I think it's a combination of soy, probably some sort of psychotropic medication. I think there's a little bit of maybe some Accutane that they somehow got in the black market, maybe a little bit of fentanyl, who knows what, and a skateboard that causes these young punks to chase a guy running down the street with a rifle. I mean, they have to all be on drugs. And for the idiot to get up and just start firing indiscriminately into a crowd, he's freaking out of his mind.
And that's not even really what happened. What happened was if you and we could even look at the footage. The first guy that got shot in the head threw something at him. There's like 10.
Oh, he got shot in the head.
One guy got shot in the head. The first guy got shot in the head.
Play that video again.
And then the rest of the crowd. So that's the guy who was talking shit earlier the night at the gas station. Like, go ahead, shoot me, pussy, blah, blah, blah. And these people, but this goes back to the main point I'm talking about. Like, they act like toddlers who've never been spanked. They act. You've been saying this.
They don't have any dads, bro.
Dude, you've been saying this for years. They act like motherfuckers who never got their ass kicked.
That's it.
One of the guys punches him in the head even before that. So while he's running, some guy runs up and yeah, that guy drops right there immediately, dead, shot in the heart. The other guy, he blows off his arm, so he blows off his elbow.
Oh,
and then if he
rewind that again. Good, Gus. Keep talking.
If he was really a psychopath, the guy with the rifle, he would have kept going right now. He would have.
Yeah.
He's trying to retreat the whole time. So look, he's running, and even before this, he gets punched in the back. See, look at the guy with the white. See, the guy in the white beater just punched him in the head.
He did it.
So the guy in the white wife beater punches him in the back of the head, and then these guys charge him. The dude has an AR. Now he shoots.
Does this?
He only shoots two of them. The dude in the backpack got shot in the heart. That guy just got shot in the elbow. His elbow.
Go back, CJ. I want to see the headshot. Go back.
No, the headshot's a different clip. That's how this all started. A different asshole was chasing him through a car dealer parking lot, threw a Molotov cocktail at him.
Who is this kid?
It's just a bunch of armed guys trying to protect businesses.
Oh, God.
Yeah, so it was...
Okay, now I get the story.
Before, it was like 6 or 8 of them. They isolated one of these guys with a rifle, and that's when they're hyenas. They pounce. So once they have you outnumbered, then they feel they could rush you, still not realizing you have a fucking...
jackals, bro.
Dude, a rifle. So... the one guy the same thing with the guy who got shot in the head earlier. He was they're charging people with a rifle, and they either have a skateboard. I think a few of them probably have handguns on them, but I don't think they understand their tactical disadvantage if it's a handgun on a fucking rifle.
They don't understand their tactical disadvantage in life in general.
No, that's also true. But dude, they act. Two separate incidents and shooters. Rob, I'm not sure it is. I think it was the same guy. Either that or they falsely identified it being the same guy. So one of the reporters from the Daily Caller actually took his shirt off right away and wrapped it around the guy who was shot in the head. Here it is. Right
here's his lead up. Yeah. I can let Blackstone Intelligence. I'll let Jake break it down.
Good. No sound, CJ.
No audio.
Gustavo,
still no audio?
No audio.
No.
Oh, son of a bitch. God
damn
it. Hang on.
Bottom line is the whole time, the guy with the rifle, and this is why I always say it only matters what a jury thinks. The guy with the rifle is in a retreat position. The whole time, even the guy who got shot in the head, the guy who got shot in the head is attacking the whole time. He is proceeding forward. The other guy is retreat. The guy with the rifle is retreating.
Oh, he got a gun.
Oh my God! They threw a Molotov at him. I saw it.
Yeah.
Holy shit! Yes, cap them all. Look at that. Yo, they're trying to kill him, bro.
Of course they are.
Yo, these people are crazy.
You might be able to see. There's a guy up there. He's shirtless. He's got a red shirt or maroon shirt wrapped around his head. He's the one who's going to get shot. See him just go down. All right, now You'll also
Everyone, that I missed that.
Coming into the frame, kind of see him just go down.
Fuck you!
You'll notice.
Yeah, okay, I'm watching
You
him.
might be able to see there's a guy up there. He's shirtless. He's got a red shirt or a maroon shirt.
These people are nuts. Why would you bum rush a guy with a gun?
Because it's a game.
To get shot.
I saw this in Call of Duty.
See him just go down.
Pop.
You'll also see up there, coming into the frame, kind of from the left of the cars there. You'll see KR. See him there.
That's the dude earlier from the video.
Yeah.
V.
Yep.
Someone tells him to call 911.
Call the cops.
Yeah, protest police, but call the cops.
That's a daily caller.
It gets pretty graphic here in a minute.
Oh,
so
yeah.
if you have sensitive eyes, you may want to leave this live stream.
I don't have sensitive eyes. If you have sensitive eyes, you have children, please take them away. At this point, we're about to see some brains on the sidewalk.
Put pressure on it. Put fucking pressure on it.
Where, dude? Where's the hole?
Wait, where are you?
In his head.
In his head.
Looks like it grazed him.
Come on.
I don't think it went through.
Put pressure.
Call the police! Call the police!
Hey, keep your eyes open. You shot him.
I'm in trouble.
There'd be a heck of a lot more blood if that went through.
Dude, that's not gonna help shit.
Looked like a Kennedy thing.
We gotta keep him alive.
This is not like Call of Duty. This is not like Fortnite.
There's another angle from a different camera.
Call the police! Get shot! Call the police!
Call the police.
Call the police. Yeah, you
Defund the
see?
police.
Oh, suddenly they want police.
He's dying. You can see the life leaving.
We got to keep him alive. A bunch of sociology majors trying to play neurosurgeon. That's funny.
We gotta keep him alive. Keep pressure on his head. Give me a Che Guevara t-shirt.
We gotta keep him alive. A bunch of rioters and looters thinking they work at the Mayo Clinic. That's fucking hilarious.
I saw this once on Cops.
Dude, these kids are out of their mind.
I thought this in a Rambo movie. Maybe it'll work.
These fatherless bastards are dropping dead. Let them drop dead. Let them all get killed. Take them out of the gene pool.
Well, dude, this is what happens when they get away with it for 3 months. So what?
Yep.
Forget. You could talk about. All right. Fundamentally, these kids are entitled little cunts that don't realize the severity of what's going on in this country right now and what normal people think of all this. But then you take that natural fucking entitlement and you combine it with, oh, we're getting this. Dude, this is the same reason the rioting and looting's still going. They're like, oh, they're letting us do this shit. We're getting away with it. So this is like a game to them. They think they're immune to people fighting back. They think they're immune to prosecution. And this might turn out to be the breaking point for everyone. Like because I sent you guys a screenshot that one congressional dude from the fucking liberal, obviously, is trying to say the guy with the rifle is a domestic terrorist. Like he won't label. I told you it's the labels. The liberals are great with frame, linguistics, and narrative. So the people who've been burning the country and terrorizing the country for 90 straight fucking days aren't domestic terrorists. The real domestic terrorists, according to liberals, politicians, are people who defend themselves. Let us kill you, or you're a domestic terrorist. So it's again, these kids, they're useful idiots, dude. I've said that from the jump. They're useful fucking idiots. They're entitled, and to them, they don't. The videos coming out of them going in DC of them going to restaurants and getting people's faces.
Oh yeah.
It's a game to these motherfuckers.
Bro, these are some of the, I think it was Robert Ramirez on the chat. Where is he? Richard Ramirez on the chat. He said the guy shot in the head was the blackest BLM member. You got that right. And if you look at the DC videos of these punk ass kids, they're all white. They're all a bunch of pasty white college flunky or college, gender study grads from college who are out there now. They're all BLM supporters. It's the most insane thing in the world, man.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. That it's unfortunate that it's ended this way because in a lot of ways, the police really feel like their hands are tied behind their back with dealing with these types of rioting and looting, right? Because the municipalities, the mayors, the governors have said, hey, look, hands off, don't do anything. So now you have a group of civilians that said, okay, well, if law enforcement's not going to do anything to protect private property and private business, we have to do it ourselves.
Correct.
And this is a result of again, government failing to take action when they should. And again, everything in America nowadays is so everything is so politicized. And unfortunately, the police, and Jay goes on his video he doesn't necessarily allege, he comments that prior to this meeting, the police were actually there at this same gas station that you see. And apparently the police thanked the armed civilians and said, hey, appreciate you guys being here. Thank you for doing this.
Dude, CJ, there's a verbal altercation when the armed citizens were literally, there was like 6 of them or 8 of them at the place, and a bunch of pampered commies were screaming at them. Fucking retarded losers were screaming at them. They're like, oh, well, I thought you were with us. And the guys are like, we're libertarians, man. We're just protecting a business. And they're like, your problem is with the government. What does it have to do with this business owner? But these fucking parasitic loser basement dwellers don't give a fuck. This is not about police brutality, dude. This is about nihilism. This is about a communist rebel fucking revolution.
It's a death cult.
Yeah, they are evil motherfuckers. They don't give a. The libertarians were trying, as they always do, trying to use logic with these people and say this is private property. Your problem is with the government. The government building is that way. Leave this gas station alone. Leave this car dealership alone. And that was the argument the whole time. That these people don't care. They don't care. This isn't about fighting the system. This is about burning it down.
Well, the other wake up thing, Gus, and I know you've been preparing yourself for quite a bit, and even going to training and all that kind of good stuff, which is great. But this should alert everyone that's listening in. Like, I don't even know the name of this town where this occurred, but
Kenosha.
I don't think it's that big of a city.
It's where I bought. It's like 90 minutes north of Chicago. It's where I bought my first bong when I was 17. So we drove. They had a bong shop right on the border. They had a couple of them, and we drove up there when we were in high school and bought bowls and bongs and joint rollers and all that shit. So yeah, I know Kenosha pretty well. I haven't spent time there the last 15, 20 years.
And I think what's the African American community? It's like 3% there, right? It's like real low. It's not.
Listen, someone's going to correct me on Wikipedia immediately, but I think it's a town of about 100,000.
That's not right.
No, yeah, it's not a huge town. It's like it's a suburb. It's a suburb in between Milwaukee and Chicago. A large suburb like Rockford or like Schaumburg. It's 100,000 people or whatever.
So this should be like a wake up call. Like literally this could happen in your community. So people are listening in, I would reach out to your local police force and say, hey, what are the plans like if something like this happens in our town? What are you guys going to do? What do we need to do as citizens to protect our private business? And those are the questions that we should be asking ourselves right now.
Well, I've told you guys for months and months, this has nothing to do with the police in Kenosha. And what political party do you think the mayor in Kenosha is? Take a guess.
He's definitely a freedom-loving libertarian. There's no doubt about it.
It's another Democratic fucking mayor. So why? And the governor of Wisconsin just refused Trump's help yesterday before all this happens. This is night 3. So what do we see happening again? We see that this is their militia, this is their arm, whatever. But something phenomenal happened this morning, and you might be able to find it, CJ, or last night. Don Lemon and Cuomo on CNN for 2 minutes, and Don Lemon is like, the rioting is going to cost us the election. He's like, the focus groups are in, the polling is in, the rioting is going to lose this thing for us.
Too late. I can't stop now.
That's what I mean. Well, I think they can stop it, but I don't. So take the Democratic cities, take the Democratic Party. You might there might be so many cucks and commies in Portland and Seattle that this could fly. But the cities that are in swing district. Wisconsin isn't Seattle and Portland. I'm a Midwestern boy. It's not the same. A Chicago Democrat is different than a fucking Portland Democrat. Trust me.
Right.
So this might fly in San Francisco. This might fly in Portland, and the mayor and prosecutors will still get reelected. But in Wisconsin, no. In Minnesota, there's going to be price to pay. In Wisconsin, there's going to be a price to pay. It's just the Midwest, dude. The Midwest is not the West Coast. It's not the cuckery is not this extreme. Yeah, go ahead.
We're doing it right now. Right, that we portray the right thing and that we're honest about it. Listen, I'm going to say this, and I know people don't like it. Most black people don't want police defunded. They don't want fewer police there. What they want more. Yeah. And most communities of color in this country need police. They may need police more than white communities. Okay,
there's more crime.
Because there's more crime. Poor communities. There's more crime in poor communities, regardless of what ethnicity you are. And African Americans, most African Americans know that. The fringes of the party want that. But most people in the Democratic Party don't want that. What they don't want, and what African Americans don't want, police abusing people.
That's right.
A domestic call being a death sentence. They don't want that. And I think the two, you can talk about the two. You can fix the two, unless you want to play up on people's fears. And I really do think the fringes of the Democratic Party have to realize that they're playing a very dangerous game. They cannot keep their blinders on when it comes to this issue, whether you think it's real or the Republicans are playing up the narrative and stoking fear or not. It's a real issue that's showing up in the polling when it comes to suburban women and when it comes to moderates and for people who may be your allies on this particular issue. One has to realize when you're losing an ally and you're starting to turn people off, whether it's real or not, you have to figure out how to fix it. The goal in politics and an election is to do what?
Win.
Win. Not to win an argument, to win the election. And to be strategic and know when to push a certain issue, when to pull back on a certain issue. And you can't always have an activist mind and an activist leaning.
Too late, Donnie.
To win.
Too late.
Great to be out there. Rah, rah, rah. This is what we want. This is what we want. But you have to realize the ultimate.
I love it.
What?
I love it.
There's another clip where he said,
"Did we really just sit through a whole thing of CNN news?"
It almost sounded like Fox, bro. It almost sounded like OAN.
The most telling thing to me in that clip, and there's another clip of him saying the polling is in, rioting is not popular. The focus groups and polling are in, the riot. It took these fucking losers, these cucks, 3 months to realize that women perhaps don't like seeing people pulled out of cars and beaten and killed. Was rioting ever popular? Will it ever be popular? What the fuck are they talking about? We've witnessed this 3 straight months, and they've tried to run cover because these are Democratic voters. But even within, like I said, it's going to cost them the swing states.
Well, they greenlighted this. Like the actions, they greenlighted it whenever.
CJ, they're still protecting them.
Right.
This could have been shut down night one. The Wisconsin fucking governor is a Democrat, and he's going to be fucking gone. But dude, I said, me and V talked about this. That's my hope for Nevada. That Nevada elected this fucking fat cuck a couple of years ago, and they are going to get wiped out in 2020. There's going to be hell to pay for that. They play because Nevada is not California. He wants it to be, but it's not. Fucking Minnesota, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania. These swing states are not fucking San Francisco. And the games, they're all the liberal governors, prosecutors, mayors are trying to say, we'll protect this fucking commie revolution. We won't prosecute them. We'll let them do whatever they want. And that shit might fly in Seattle, and you might get reelected in Seattle with that, but you're not getting reelected in the Rust Belt with that, in the Midwest with that. No fucking way.
But other than political things, though, I mean, let's talk about the Department of Justice, because why hasn't yet the Department of Justice said, hey, look, you know what? Sorry, but Antifa and even BLM, you guys keep doing this stuff. You're going to be labeled a domestic terrorist organization, and
they're trying.
We're going to squash it.
They're trying. He sent Wolf into. You see, dude, I've been saying this forever. The Democrats' only gift, and this is because they control 95% of the media, the Democrats' only gift is narrative and frame. This is what happened in Portland. It was the feds come in for a couple of days. Oh my God, the stormtroopers are, can you believe what's going on? So if I'm Trump, if I'm Barr, and Barr's been saying exactly what it is, and so is Trump. And the Republicans need to just pound for the next 2 months. They just need to pound footage of the riots, looting, the stores, people being beaten. Dude, they beat up an old man 2 days ago. An old man with a fire extinguisher was trying to put out a fire in his store in Kenosha, and they beat him to an inch of his life. Like these people are evil motherfuckers, and that's okay. But the feds, here's what I will tell you: if this wasn't an election year, I think the federal response would have been much differently. No, put it this way: November 5th, if Trump wins, which right now I believe it's going to be a fucking massacre. I think he is going to win. Right as of right now, if Trump wins, I think November 4th, November 5th, the feds are going in to all these places. That would be my, because that's what I would do. I'd be like, all right, I'll play nice. I'll show America what you guys are doing. Just fucking let everyone see what's going on. And then if I win the election, and actually you could argue he does that no matter what, because even if he loses, he's still got 2.5 months in power until. So even if Trump loses, Biden doesn't get in until January 20th or whatever. So he could get in there and squash this shit. Even though I think if Biden wins, the Democratic mayors and governors would squash it themselves. That's the real tragedy here. The real tragedy is the mayors of these towns.
They use them.
They could shut it down. Dude, it was shut down in San Diego. Like I said, we talked about, and where there's an independent or Republican mayor in power, this shit doesn't happen. It only they shut it down in Miami. They shut it down in San Diego. They shut it down in Las Vegas. It's not happening. It's only happening where there is a Democratic fucking mayor, prosecutor, governor, whatever. That's where they let it roam free. So my thesis would be that Trump would, no matter what, feds are getting involved after the election. I don't see why they wouldn't. Because at that point, if he gets reelected, he's like, there's no election. Now I could unleash hell on you motherfuckers. I don't have to. Your narrative doesn't mean dick for the next 4 years. I don't care. So we'll see. I could be wrong, but like I said, it's to the useful idiots in the streets. It's not a game, dude. This isn't Call of Duty. This isn't what's the one with the pimp going around stealing cars?
San Andreas.
Yeah.
What's it called again?
Grand Theft Auto.
Grand Theft Auto.
I
actually had San Andreas.
I love Grand Theft Auto. Oh my God, I got Grand Theft Auto 5. It's amazing. It's crazy.
Yeah. So
all right, we got some swamp news, man. Siege, I know you've been livid about this. Why don't you break it down for us, bro? Let's talk about where we go. We go.
And again, I get the idea where people are sticking to a narrative regarding, where we go one, we all go, and the arrest and everything. But there's a great article and a great podcast companion with the article on truepundit.com that's just broken down perfectly by Thomas Paine, who apparently I don't know much about his background, but he can't reveal his sources. But apparently at one time he was very much involved with the FBI, involved with the Hillary Clinton email investigation, everything associated with it. And through this article and podcast, he pretty much reveals that he has been contacted by current and active FBI investigators who have stated that Barr has stated specifically that Biden and Obama are pretty much immune from any type of prosecution. I don't want to hear about the information. I don't want anything brought forward. That they're kind of like just given the green light on this. And, Thomas Paine's pretty upset about it. Like you can go listen to it at his site, how he breaks it down, trying to understand the whole thought process in regards to the takedown of the deep state. But it's just very unfortunate. So if you're holding your breath, waiting for any type of arrest, any types of prosecutions, it's not going to happen anytime soon.
I never thought it really was. Because if I'm being honest, if there was a photo of Obama in handcuffs today, there'd be a civil war.
It'd be nuts.
Yeah, because dude, this all goes back to how the media would cover it. It'd be like,
Yeah.
we told you Trump is Hitler. Look what he came after our Jesus Christ. Like that's, dude, don't we know? Isn't that why Hillary isn't in jail? Like come on. I mean, Americans might not want to hear this, but there are certain people that are untouchable.
Yep.
Haven't we learned this? It appears George. How long? V has been banging the drum about this forever. Why isn't George Soros in handcuffs?
Yeah. How come his assets aren't forced? Haven't been frozen?
That's what I mean. There appears to be a group of people who are untouchable, and I don't know.
Well, that's a thing that I'm really challenged with in regards to the Trump administration, the Trump presidency, is that is he culpable in what's happening right now? Because granted, it's been almost nearly 4 years. We see the continued censorship by the megalith companies, Google, all the censorship that's occurring, the deplatforming. I'm really struggling to really identify what has really fundamentally changed since he's been in office. And that's my point. And he specifically stated, Gus, numerous times that this should never, ever, ever, ever happen to any other administration. This is the greatest crime in history. So it doesn't add up. How can that be that you're going to excuse this, but yet you're labeling it the greatest atrocity ever, and at the same time you're saying it was the greatest economy ever in history. So
I think you're asking the wrong question. I think the right question is, what makes someone untouchable? Meaning, like, what is it? Do you call it the Davos crowd? Do you call it the deep state? What level of power or what network, what club do you have to join to become untouchable? That I don't know. They've put governors in jail before. They've put senators in jail. Like, so I don't know what maybe there's a membership card, like can't be full immunity card or something.
Well, you gotta go to Epstein Island, bro. That's the first thing. You gotta go there. You gotta do a little hokey pokey with some young underage girls or worse, and you gotta be filmed doing it. And then you gotta be a complete sociopath.
I don't know. I don't know if there's some club. I don't know if there's some membership. They've taken this government of this country has taken down powerful people in the past. Dude, I'm originally from Chicago, Illinois. Politicians have went to jail before. Yeah, so it's there isn't immunity for everyone, but right. There's some club, there's some membership, there's some level of blackmail or leverage or the guy behind the guy, as Trent says in Swingers. There's some fucking thing. Dude, they protected Weinstein for 10 fucking years. They protected, so there's some club, there's some fucking, who knows? You can call it whatever you want to call it, but there's a lot of people who should be in fucking jail at the highest levels of power, and they're untouchable. And I don't know why. That's my question. How and why are some people immune from it all? That part I don't understand. There's an answer there. I just don't know what it is. It's, again, a lot of these, CJ, you are 100% right. Based on everything we know, to my knowledge, there's only been one prosecution. Where's Comey? Where's Clapper? Go down the fucking list? Why, and why aren't heads rolling? Maybe they have.
Where's Strzok? How come
listen for 1 second. I agree, Gus, but for 2 years, the conservative base held the House and the Senate, right? Yep. The first 2 years of this administration. What took place? The conservative base fought against this administration. So, this tells me that both parties are guilty as hell. You
used the wrong word there.
What's that?
It wasn't the conservative base. It was the conservative establishment.
The establishment.
It's the exact opposite of the base. So it was the Paul Ryan neocons, many of which we're seeing the last 2 weeks. Jeff Flake. You could argue Rubio, Lindsey Graham, go down the fucking list. Maybe they're part of this club.
Doesn't the buck stop at the presidency? If you're the president of this country and you have it, so what do elections matter? What does it matter whether Biden wins or Trump wins this coming election if nothing can get done, nothing gets accomplished? What does it matter?
I think they all have to be on the same page. and I think that's what you're seeing. Look at who's the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court, Roberts. Like Roberts has a punch. He's either blackmailed or he's part of this club we're talking about.
He's blackmailed. From what I hear, he's gay. And they have a lot of dirt on him.
They're not. From what? Let me put it to you like this: before Trump, okay, the Bushes, the McCains, the Mitt Romneys, dude. That's why I became a libertarian. I was more anti-neocon than I was anti-liberal because they made me fucking sick. They were like bloodthirsty fucking psychopaths.
Yep.
I hated neocons more than I hated fucking liberals. I really did. Growing up, I identified as Democrat growing up because I was so anti-fucking neocon. Because they're disgusting people. Like if you will, even now, Bill Christopher.
Oh, I voted for Bill Clinton. I voted for Bill Clinton.
I'm anti-neocon. So, but when you ask me, like the country really has gravitated to, it really is establishment versus grassroots right now, and meaning that the neocons, what we witnessed in the Bill Clinton and Bush and McCain and Romney years, that was all political theater, dude. That was all fake infighting. That wasn't real. Did they agree on 99% of shit? Let's invade this country. Let's do this.
Sure.
But yeah, those people are all on the same page. That's another great talking point from the RNC the last 2 days. Is Trump's like, have I started any new wars? I haven't started any new wars, have I? Like, that's a great point because he hasn't, and they wanted.
I think Trump is destroying both the Republican and Democrat establishment.
That's what has to be done. That's why I think
that is happening. If you look at his second-term position, it's on that agenda.
If you really want to see who doesn't have a membership to the quote-unquote club, it's Tulsi Gabbard. It's Trump. It's Wolf. It's the guys who they shun. I think that's why we're getting an influx of so many moderates, the whole walk away movement. I think people realize they're like, you know what? This Trump guy actually does what he says he's going to do. He's not really very pro-war. Like I was much more skeptical of Trump 3 years ago than I am now. Now I'm like, yeah, they really are trying to kill this guy. They're really like now I'm like, if put it this way, all the right people, all the evil right people hate Trump. And that's how I know he's for real. Yeah. Like his enemies tell me, oh yeah, he's for real. He really is trying to fix this shit. Like, because look at all the forces aligned against him. Those are neocons. Those are commies. Those are SJWs. All the right people are aligned against them. And that tells you, so I've said this before, dude, just like these kids, these millennials and these Gen Zers were brainwashed growing up, so were we. We were just brainwashed with a different sales pitch. We were brainwashed with trust the media, the establishment would never lie, because we had to swallow that pill to be like, all wars are awesome. You could trust the government. The Federal Reserve is awesome. So we were just fed different bullshit. And what the last 3 years has shown me, the last 4 years, is that they're all in on it together. And I don't think he's part of. I would with almost a level of certainty, Trump is not part of the club. Tulsi is not part of the club. There's Democrats who speak truth too. Not many of them, but they're out there. So that's where is this dude? Do I trust the Department of Justice? Of course not. Do you know how many bureaucrats are in there still from the last? That's the problem with bureaucracy. Look at every single fucking agency. You don't think there's probably fucking Reagan employees in there still, Bush employees. Clinton, of course. So you're to expect Trump to get in there and fire 500,000 federal employees and put all it's not possible.
People don't understand the swamp. They think that one guy could go in there and fix the whole entire thing and get it all done. It's fucking impossible.
It's systemic.
It's huge. It's a systemic problem, man. Not a single person can manage.
We are uncovering all these little leakers, all these little wars. Oh, the New York prosecutor in the Southern District. Oh, the ambassador to this country. Oh, this FBI agent. So there's all these fucking evil neocons and commies in the federal government and unelected bureaucratic positions, and it's hard to identify all of them. a lot of them have come on board. A lot of them have stabbed us all in the back, and that's okay. That's okay. But that's why when you ask me why isn't anything happening, that's why. I still think there's a large percentage of evil in the bureaucracy.
Well, but if okay, let's play this out. So how much time we got? We may need another show for this. But okay, so Trump gets reelected, right? And potential for a Democratic-led House and Senate. What really changes the next 4 years? What good is it? What purpose does it serve?
Bro, it took them generations to hijack this country. It's not going to be fixed in 2 or 3 years. This is one thing you said that 3 months ago, that right now I agree with so much, and I should have agreed with more then. We need to fight on every single fucking level. In our school in our city councils, in the school board meetings, we need to get in these people's faces. We need to we need to this battle isn't all right, cast your vote on November 3rd, see you in 2 years or 4 years. That's where we go wrong, that the liberals don't. The liberals are fighting this bullshit every single fucking day on every single fucking level. So you're like, what's going to change the next 4 years? We're not going to fix this country in 4 years. This year might take, if the other side looks liberty loving and truth telling and transparency, it's going to take a fucking generation.
Yeah, it's going to take a cultural revolution, man.
I might not live to see it. Like, that's how long it's going to take. They've infested everything. There's fucking dude. You know what struck me, man? Here's Andy knows Twitter feed, which is brilliant. Yes. I pulled it up yesterday before the Kenosha got real hot, and I pulled up the mugshots of the Portland people. And let me because I would always look at the mugshots of the Portland people to make fun of them. But CJ, here's what jumped out at me on these mugshots. Started listing their occupations. It was
nice.
It was 3 teachers and 3 social workers.
Wow.
Arrested in Portland. One of them was a preschool teacher.
Wow.
When you're like, oh, how are we going to fix this in 4 years? We're not, dude. We fell asleep at the fucking wheel. They've infested everything. Everything. Your local, they've infested the fucking church, the school, the culture. They're everywhere. This was a 20-year brainwash.
Dude, it's a 50-year brainwash from the 1960s onwards.
It definitely after the generation, I could tell the difference between even an old Gen Zer, an old Gen Xer, or a middle of the tier Gen Xers like me, and a millennial who's in their mid-30s.
Yeah,
I can even tell the difference there because we were just taught different things. Like we don't speak the same. They're all about sensitivity and feelings, and the culture even shifted. When I was in college, the culture started shifting. Like it was the end of like gangster rap and heavy metal, and it started shifting to like pop music and 16-year-old chicks in fucking bikinis. Like the
it was weird,
sensitive pussy music, and like I'm talking like 2000.
What about the boy bands, Gus?
That's what I mean. That's when it all started. Before boy bands, the 80s and 90s were dominated by fucking like metal, grunge, rap, like good rap, old school rap, good shit. Like
testosterone filled stuff.
Yes. And something happened around 2000, right when we were entering the workforce, that everyone became a pussy. Like, I don't know. It was like the whole, I don't know, twerking.
Right after 9/11.
We started giving away participation trophies.
All of it.
What it is.
I'm telling you, millennials are just raised differently. They're different. Even my youngest brother, he's like right on the fucking cusp, and he was raised with around a bunch of savages, but he was something changed in that generation. I don't know.
It was a frequency shift almost.
Very, very strange. So, and again, you could tell on the streets now. So Trump is not, dude, it's lazy. It's lazy thinking to think this all, and that's we've been talking about it forever. Do the Q people have any, are they right? Are they wrong? I'm like, dude, this is such lazy thinking. Thinking November 3rd, you could go back to ignoring reality. Like, dude.
Here's where I don't sleep well with Trump. Okay, here's where I don't sleep well, because especially with like what we talk about, guys, understanding financial, economics, geopolitics, everything that we do, is that when you hear somebody repeatedly say that I built the greatest economy ever, and I'm going to build it again, but yet we pump out $5 trillion in debt.
That's how you do it, bro.
It's hard. It's hard to justify this. So that's one. The second piece of it,
print, baby, print.
When you know that like across the United States that, and you look at it state by state, where we hear like the Virginia health minister say that when there's a vaccine comes out, it's going to be mandatory that everyone takes it. But yet you have an administration who signs an executive order allowing the Department of Defense, whoever knows who else, to greenlight the manufacturing of these vaccines. And then he stands up there and he advocates that, you know what, maybe we can skip some of the testing process to get this vaccine out even quicker. Some of those things I don't sleep well with that. It really irks me. Like, he's providing the ammunition for the jab, you know, and I don't know. It's hard for me to swallow that pill. You know what I'm saying?
I think a lot of what he says about the greatest economy, and all, that's all a sales pitch. But that
doesn't make it right. That doesn't make it right.
No. Dude, let me ask you something, CJ. Do you think Gus up there giving knowing my personality?
Don't make me call Will.
Yeah,
don't make me call Will. I'll call Will.
Meaning, do you think someone with my level of transparency could ever get elected president of this country? Like, of course not. Because I'd go up there like, listen, you fucking loser, basement dwellers. You know, you're fucking stop jerking off and eating Cheetos all day, you fucking cucks.
Well, yeah, but at least you'd maintain your honesty and integrity, though, Gus.
Would I get elected? Of course
No.
not. You have to expect.
You'd scare the suburban housewives, Gus.
You have to expect some level of sales pitch. Like, you can't get up there and call these people fucking losers. And believe me, I would love it if he did, but he'd lose, right? So yes, is he printing money? Is a lot of it like a tacky sales pitch?
It's a bubble.
You have to feed these people some bullshit. Like, that's just politics. Like, if you don't,
it's salesmanship. You have to.
Yeah, you have to. And I don't agree. And on the vaccine stuff, dude, there are numerous interviews, CJ, where he said not everyone's going to want to take it. Not everyone's going to take it. He's like, I can't make it, man. So I've heard him the words because Alex Jones was all over that months ago. His heart was kind of broken too. He's like, is Trump gonna? He's like, I can't believe that. What the fuck? And then
the states will decide that, right? The states will decide that on the federal level.
Luckily, I'm in the right state. They're going to give me 30 injections in one day.
Yeah. And Trump has said that many people aren't going to want it, and good for him saying it. Again, I'm not the ultimate mega guy, but I believe he's as genuine and as real as we've ever seen in our life. Yes, of course he's got to feed the greatest economy in the world bullshit, but you have to a certain again. I wouldn't get elected.
Gus, it goes back to what I said and what you said and what CJ said when 2016 happened. He's buying you time.
Yeah.
That's all it is, and I've said this numerous times. And CJ, where's the Dow at right now?
Probably over 30K.
It's creeping back up to 29,000, just like I said it will. It will go to 30,000, just like I said it's going to go, because they got to hide that inflation somewhere. The ESF is on full tilt. I'm telling you right now, they got to put that somewhere. And folks, let me explain something to you. I've been calling it from day one. The only way this thing's sustained is we are headed for negative interest rates, and we are headed for UBI, Universal Basic Income. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. And everybody out there with this whole Q stuff, I'm telling you right now, the only way you reverse this is that everything that's been talked about in these message boards have to come to pass. Okay? How much are you willing to bet your life on that? That's a scary thought, because I've said this before. Trump's going to win. It's going to be a landslide. It's going to be an electoral landslide. But what that does, it gives you 4 more years to prepare, make a shitload of money, and get out of harm's way. That's it.
Like I said, man, they took a long time for this cancer to grow, and it's not one election isn't going to fix it. This is a generation. We have to stop hoping for a Messiah. We have to
Yeah.
stop being fucking lazy.
It's
like
human nature. That's the problem. You know?
Bro, we have to we are battling. You have to understand that the cult.
Look at gold. Sorry, go ahead.
The cult is these people's main priority. This has become a religion to these people. We are battling. This is a holy war, and these people are religious zealots. Like they believe this is all this whole cultural Marxism thing. It's all they have in their life. Yep. They hate their families. They don't have careers. They don't have capital. They don't have fucking brains or the only thing they have is cultural Marxism. The revolution is the focus of their fucking life. Like, so when you're fighting something like that, we can't just say, oh yeah, the Trump will drain the swamp and election, we could all go back to normal. Dude, no, I will never go back to fucking normal, because I will get involved on every single fucking. I'm getting in people. There is no more walking away from me. If some beaver bumper redhead fucking commie gets in my face at fucking dinner, I'm gonna escalate. There is no more walking away peacefully.
Exactly. Unless our side takes it to the streets and start beating ass.
You have to take it to every level.
You have to.
Dude, ditch apathy. Don't be tolerant and don't be apathetic. They're coming after your fucking kids. Like,
I don't care. I'm gonna go on my message board. I'm gonna go on 16 Chan, and I'm gonna wait for the latest posts.
Well, here's
he's gonna tell me what direction I'm gonna go.
Kind of supporting what you're saying. So here's where I've arrived. Okay, is that, like, again, there is so much complacency occurring right now with 2020, with everything that's taken place, and knowing they're capable of shutting down our economy. You know, like where you have like 85% of the population who are voluntarily wearing masks inside their own cars, inside their own home. There are so many people that are just completely asleep. So, I'm not getting any younger, right? And I would rather allow the dominoes to fall. And if there is going to be a new American Revolution, a new war that needs to occur, I want to fight that myself and not my kids fight that battle for me for the mistakes.
I want to put a caveat in
fucked up we made this world, we made this economy. We did this, not them.
That is my
point.
And
let me explain something for all you guys out there listening. This ain't about a left-right thing. This is literally a populist movement. That's guys like us, libertarian, freedom-minded guys, versus status, versus tyrants, versus those who hate liberty, who hate freedom, who hate the Constitution, the Bill of Rights. That's what it is. This is a populist thing. If anybody's been following us for quite some time, they know that off the bat.
Just listen, man. Stop trying to rationalize it.
Yep.
Only one side is trying to fucking molest your children with pedophilia, eliminate your speech, take your guns, and if someone commenter wants to fuck off, cuck, like, fuck you. I don't really give a fuck what some fucking troll thinks. Eat a dick.
Right.
They're trying to molest fucking kids. Fuck off. Go fucking tweet it somewhere else, bitch. Like, fuck off. I don't care. Like, which side is sending in people to fucking give your children pills, tranny pills, estrogen pills? Which side is rationalizing pedophilia? Which side is trying to fucking tell you what you can and can't say? There are two sides. One is liberty loving, the other is authoritarian. Period. It's not about left versus right. It's about liberty and freedom. It's freedom versus authority. Period. End of fucking story. You point to the side which tells me what I can say, which is trying to take my fucking guns, which is trying to tax me, which is trying to tell me what my kids have to fucking learn. That side's the fucking problem. You could label them
unless we kick their ass.
You want. Yeah, dude, fuck everyone. If you can't see what's fucking happening right now, you're retarded. Period. Fuck off. Like, I don't care. Like, they're literally trying to rationalize pedophilia. If that doesn't fucking wake you up, eat a dick. Like, yeah, it's all a fucking gay. Like, fuck off. There's no way to rationalize what the commies are doing right now. They've enslaved the fucking country. Enslaved the country. And there's a common fucking denominator. It's a liberal fucking mayor and it's a liberal governor. They've enslaved the fucking country. You can't see it. You can't tell me there's a good side and a bad side right now. Like, get the fuck out of here. Enough of this bullshit.
Yep. Absolutely right, man.
It's a great way to close it out.
This is why Yeah, this is why we can't be rational. There's no point in having logic discourse for people that are emotionally fueled on an ideology. It is right now, the battle is the power of will. Whose side is going to win is going to determine on who has the will. That's it. And I guess we're at the end of the show.
We're going to do it this way. I was ready to have a smoke.
No, because I don't want to be. Don't be apologetic for seeing things clearly.
Yeah,
dude. Idaho just fucking took away the governor's emergency power. One side is giving you your freedom. The other side is taking it away. It's just that simple. And if it is a Republican and they're not giving you your freedom, then it's a neocon. I mean, that's the whole thing right now, dude. There's no way
to think otherwise is intellectually lazy, bro.
Dude,
to think otherwise.
It's lazy. Like talk is fucking cheap.
Cheap.
Yeah, fuck them. Like, don't be apologetic for seeing things fucking clearly. Like, again, there's only one side right now pulling old ladies out of cars, and if you can't, it's not neo-Nazis. Like, eat a dick. Like, fuck off. It's the commies right now. Like, I know the enemy. I don't have time to argue. And I said this before. I don't have time to argue right now. We're in the midst of a fucking fourth generational civil war, and I don't have time to argue about the varying degrees of libertarianism right now. Like, should this be private? Like, dude, we are in a fucking war against commies, and you want to say, like, dude, fuck off. Like, the line.
Just what you're saying is the participation in the revolution should be voluntary.
No, like, I don't want to get into the throwing people in the right, and I'm not talking about neocons. Fuck them. Like, I'm not talking about Mitt Romney and Jeff Flake. The varying degrees of, like, would I prefer Rand Paul over the senator from Arkansas, who's also kind of a badass? Like, you don't have time to nitpick sides right now. If the battle lines are already fucking drawn, and that's why we lose, if I'm being honest. Like, so while Democrats never throw each other under the bus, dude.
No.
Never. They've been supporting a communist revolution for 90 fucking days. You see them throwing each other. They all are on the same page. And what do we get here? We get infighting, like the varying degrees of, like, dude, holy fuck, they're trying to fuck, trannies are fucking molesting your kids. Like, wake the fuck up. Like, you snap the fuck out of it, dude. Like, it's enough.
I think we need to launch story time with Gus.
I think so.
We'll take that nationwide.
Bro, like I said, man, it's...
if we don't fight back, man, it's lost. If we don't fight back, it's fuck the politicians, fuck the laws. We need to stand on one law, and that's the Constitution. And I view this communist insurrection as enemies of the state. CJ,
you were right all along. Get involved. I think we have to get involved on every level. And even again, I have to reprioritize my life in regards to, like, yes, is it cool to show up at a city council meeting and scream at people? No, like, I'd rather be fucking watching a game with a hooker on my lap. But we are in a fucking war. Like, and it's time. We have to get involved on every level
because they're infiltrating. They're infiltrating at every level.
They already have, bro. They already have. I don't even the shit coming out of shit that's getting approved. Dude, Black Lives Matter is, like, pushing propaganda into, like, elementary schools right now. Like, Marxist, this is unacceptable shit like that. We have to attack on every single level of society because they have infiltrated every single level. It's not just about Trump. It's not just about Washington, D.C. It's about our communities, our neighborhoods, our cities, our counties, every level, dude, every fucking level. So anyway, off the gun training I go.
Absolutely.
See,
and with that being said, folks, go ahead, Gus.
Oh, CJ, let me know on your travel.
I will. All right. Sounds great, guys. Good show.
All right, gentlemen, have a great day. Cheers.